indie authors and creators, anybody who's listening, tell me if you've heard about this. Did you hear about the Instagram surveys that went out last week to certain users, probably power users, probably influencers, things like that? Did you hear anything
No?
about that?
No, what is
So
that?
check this out. So there was a survey on how much people would be willing to spend for how much reach.
Oh,
Disgusting, right? They're just coming out and saying it now. They're coming out saying it. You're going to start paying for reach. So scenario one, $150 will get you 600 followers, 2,000 messages, 2,000 clicks, 7,500 visits, 0 comments, 675,000 views or impressions, and 15,000 likes. Scenario two, $1,150 will get you 1,500 followers, 1,600 messages, 500 clicks, 6,000 visits, 4,500 comments, 825,000 views, 75,000 likes. Scenario three is $380, 900 followers, 1,200 messages. So you get the picture, right? So they're basically saying, yeah, we're going to start charging you for exposure. So if you want to pay for exposure, now it's all out in the open now. And those went out last week. So I thought that was pretty disgusting to actually just, I guess disgusting, yes, but in the same way, no, because we know that certain people are doing it anyways.
okay. So here's the thing. They're not real. I don't care how much you're freaking paying. Those are not real. Instagram, they're a
Right.
multi-billion-dollar company.
Right.
Those are bots.
The way I took it was, this is how dirty they're being as far as blocking exposure. They know, they know who will like C.D. McKenna's stuff.
Yeah.
They know who will like Micah Campbell's stuff.
Yeah.
But they are not going to allow it to hit those people unless you pay a monthly rate, and a heavy duty monthly rate, like anywhere from $150 to $2,000.
That is outrageous.
Is that not insane?
Who can fundamentally afford that long term?
Right. Even only influencers and big shots, and which again is kind of going back to, we've talked about this ad nauseum for the last year or so, is just the disgusting state of social media and the whole scene and the whole scenario. But now it's out in the open. Those went out last week, and I'll post some pictures on our Instagram, maybe, or in the show notes or something. I'll put them somewhere so people can see them.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. I'm Micah. I wrote a book and self-published it, and it did pretty well on Amazon. Bam, I'll put it right there. I also publish a anthology every year, a horror anthology with a bunch of awesome authors, and it does really well, and it's all for charity. And now I help other people publish books, new authors getting into the self-publishing sphere. I help them do that, and every Friday I get to kick it with my girl and talk about all the awesome things. I like long walks on the beach, and I am 25 years old. Okay. Your turn. Go. We got 2 minutes for an intro.
Okay, Chelsea here. I write books. I like to write dark epic fantasy. I show up on a couple of the anthologies Micah has done. Hopefully this year again. Let's just be honest. I have written The Blood of the Lion, The Mark of the Dam, The Dance of Destiny. Now, The Scars of the Wicked is coming out here. I am just hoping that it all works out. So that being said, I've done a few short stories. I have written a dark kids book that is, I'm not sure if it's kids friendly. Let's be honest.
Oh, it's great. It's very kids friendly.
Yeah.
Very
and I am a coffee addict and will find any way to drink my coffee. And I like music. Goodbye.
Bye.
Wow, that is so disappointing. That is like, because when they first started doing marketing ads, it was pay for 30 days, depending on your reach or what you're looking. It's $6 a day, and for 5 days, it's $30.
Yeah. Yeah. No, now it's like, now they're not even sugarcoating it. It's like, pay this. We'll open your feed to people who will like you, so you can get followers. If you do not pay this, you will not get exposure.
Well, yeah, they
Yeah.
are literally tight locking the algorithm for each
Yeah.
account so
Yeah.
that you're only exposed to the followers, which you're lucky if you're exposed to all your followers, because
Right.
as we've seen in the past,
Oh yeah.
they're shadowing you from even your most normal followers. I've had
Right.
people like ARC readers that have been with me since day one messaging me in the last 6 months going, dude, you like disappeared from my feed for
Yeah.
like 8 months. I mean, from like the time book 3 released to now.
Right.
And they're like, I thought, I haven't seen any of your posts. And I'm like, I post regularly. And yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like even your most like usual engagement is being,
Even your circle is not
yeah,
seeing your stuff, and the only way to get exposure, whether it be new followers or clicks, because it has a whole list of everything. The only way to get that now is to pay monthly, and you're talking an exorbitant amount of
that's
paying monthly.
that is unethical.
Dude, it's sick. And I guess yes, it is unethical, but at the same time, it's like it's their platform. So if you don't
It
like it, get off
is.
it. Which
Well,
is which sucks, which is kind of like where we're at,
can't really get
but
off it, can we?
right, right. So I just thought I'd open the morning with that because I thought that was very
Very
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious, given the the TikTok issue going on nationally,
Hmm.
how Instagram's going to respond with their reels, with the algorithm reach with
Yeah.
those, because
Yeah.
they had when everything with the pandemic that must not be named happened. Instagram changed their algorithm to compete with TikTok.
Right.
So then the reels started happening.
Right.
Spin my mouse around so it looks like I'm live. Um,
Yeah. There you go. Good call. Good call.
and so then, but Instagram was always a picture based platform, and so
Right.
the reels kind of were like, oh yeah, they're good but not great to compare to TikTok
Right.
in terms of reach. And then Instagram was like, okay, we'll change our algorithm so that posts and pictures are the primary reach.
Yeah.
Now you're facing this issue, and I have to wonder, are they going to try and say this is the new,
Go back to the reels.
yeah,
Yeah. I think they will because somebody's gonna capitalize on the TikTok going away.
yeah.
Whether it's Facebook with is Facebook reels? What would Facebook call? I can't call
They're
videos.
everybody's meta, right?
True,
Facebook
right?
and
It's
Instagram.
all
Yeah.
meta.
Yeah.
So either or if it's going to be YouTube Shorts or whatever it's going to be, somebody's going to capitalize on the reels
Yeah.
because we're a generation of doom scrolling, real loving, people now. Ever since the pandemic that will not be named.
Yeah.
That's all we do. Which gosh, I hate. I have found that I have been on Facebook, and I've always hated Facebook. I have found that I've been on Facebook more than Instagram lately because Facebook seems more real. Is that weird?
No, not at all.
Okay.
We've talked about this. We've
Yeah.
talked about this,
Yeah.
but I have seen a few posts as of late, aka in the last week, where people are posting and I know the real story or something like that, and I'm like, that's not true.
Yeah.
You know?
Correct. Right.
And it's a little bit frustrating. And I don't know these people personally. It's not like we're
Yeah.
not the inner circle, right?
Right.
But
Right.
it's people that I've spoken to in recent or in the past and know the story of what's going on. And I'm just like, that's not true.
Yeah.
And now people are like, oh, congratulations. And it's
Right.
like saying you won the gold medal, but really you placed bronze, but you're saying you won the gold medal.
Right.
And it's
Right.
like,
Or you didn't place at all, but some arbitrary, medal exists somewhere and you bought it from Walmart for $10 and you say that you won a gold medal.
exactly. And
Yeah,
that's
like come on.
the dishonesty.
Yeah.
I've noticed just several posts this week regarding some of the people in the community, and I just thought that is so frustrating. So I completely understand because I have kind of turned over to Facebook too. Whenever I scroll, I don't even scroll Instagram.
Right.
And it's not that I scroll a lot as it is, but when I do sit down and I just want to scroll through something, it's usually Facebook.
Because okay, okay, we know you're going to know who I'm talking about as soon as I say it. Hopefully, no one else will, because I'm not trying to badmouth anybody. I'm just trying to say
This
we've
is
been
Micah and I
following.
trying to like say the
Right. Secret codes here, secret codes. But we've been following an author who definitely did some shady stuff and bought a crap ton of followers. They went from like, I don't know, whatever,
It was like
3,000.
1,700
Oh,
followers they had.
dude, but now have you seen it lately? I looked at
No.
it yesterday. 39.9 thousand followers. 39.9 thousand followers on
Bro.
on Instagram. So I was like, "Oh, holy snap. This is getting out of control, right?" So I went over to look at the Amazon page, her sales, and because you can get the back data meta stuff with certain tools.
Yeah.
Looked at back data meta and the sales and the reviews and things like that. Nothing's changed. Still, it's just still normal. So of these 39,000 fans, none of them have purchased the book outside of the people who purchased it the first year of release. Then I went over to Facebook, to her Facebook, and 127 followers, and like each post gets like 2 comments. So this is what I'm saying. Like, Instagram is just, and I'm not knocking. Do what you want to do. I'm not
Yeah.
knocking it, but Instagram has become so fake. That like it's like you go over to Facebook, and it's like, well, you may only have 2 comments, but those 2 comments are like legit, like thought provoking or whatever, like
Yeah.
real comments, and you may only have like 200 or 300 followers, but those followers are like engaged and real.
They're real.
You
They're
know,
people that are interested in you and your life.
right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, to get the morning started, yeah, I thought that was very interesting
Yeah.
with the survey and with the new pay program, and yeah, that kind of got us started. But enough of that bull crap, because this is a joyous occasion. It is Friday, as all Fridays are. This is also a Friday, and you made an announcement this morning. Just everybody woke up and saw an announcement. So you wanna walk us through that?
Oh gosh, I love it. It's my cover. I'm kind of like, I have turned into a full-blown fangirl
Yeah,
with this cover.
it's freaking gorgeous. I mean, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Like, now, are the silvers like in the script and in the are those the same as the other ones, or is even that a little different?
This is, I mean, definitely the font is always the same,
Right,
consistency, the
right.
basic with the shield and stuff like that. But like the silver itself is really standing out on this one. And that's
It's
because I
really
asked for it
standing
that
out.
way. Yeah.
Yeah,
I said for this primary scheme, I said I want purple and silver to really like take the
yeah.
charge on this one. And silver kind of always makes its way in the other ones, but I've
Right,
always said
right.
that is not just even a secondary color, that's an accent color. But this one I was like, I want that as a secondary color.
Yeah,
And I mean, I gotta tell you, dude, I'm so in love with this cover, and I think as authors, sometimes it's really scary when we give that vision over, and we're like, okay, I really want it. I wanted to take this, I wanted to do that. And you're like, I am no artist when it comes to cover design work, so I'm like, I hope that
sure.
all makes sense.
Right, right.
And you see like book 1, book 2, book 3, and every single cover I've always fallen in love with because they always represent really key moments in the book.
Yeah,
And they're all sisters, right? With the shield and everything like that.
right.
This cover, I specifically pulled elements in from the storyline. And I said, I really want, because I'm taking on a different approach with the second trilogy. And it's not that they're all going to look identical, right? They're all going to have really sisterhood type mentality,
Right.
all of that. But the elements on the cover were really personal with the storyline on this one particularly,
Yeah.
with the raven feather, the vines, the paw print. Yeah, I literally, it's just amazing. And like
Yeah.
oh god,
It's
okay, yeah.
awesome. I'll put a high def picture of
Yeah,
it
put a high
over.
def post.
Yeah, so people can
I
see it. It's
saw
so
it.
good. It's so
It's
good.
like, yeah, when I saw it, it was like a full body chill moment because everything in the story represents that cover. Like
Yeah.
that, it's just that moment.
Yeah.
And that's the closest I love all my covers, and they all have their own symbolism, but this cover in particularly, it's just like it embodies everything.
Oh, dude, it's so
It,
good. Like,
it's
when I woke up this morning, and I wake up, I check my messages, then I check the emails and feeds, and the first thing there was that, and like still glasses not even on, still I was like, oh crap, like that
Yeah.
thing is freaking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there is just, oh my god. And so, and there's skulls too. Like, come on, dude, this
I
chick.
don't did I recognize, did I even see the skulls? Let me
Yeah,
see.
go up because it looks. Oh, and So because you have like kind of that ice gritty feel to it, which is something really important to me because of the realm, the soul realm.
Yeah.
And then if you look, you
Oh,
can see the
yeah, that's
skulls.
gorgeous. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
That is there is so much more in here than wow. So, like, I just saw it. I just saw it as a picture, and I was like, "Wow, that's dope." But you go in here and you actually look at all the
All
yeah, that
the
must
details.
yeah, all the different elements like you were talking about. That must have taken Homegirl a minute. I mean,
I bought this
that's
cover
freaking
like
beautiful.
I was like 3.5, 4 months ago that I
Golly.
was like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
I think somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But it's just like I always let her take as much time as she wants because every single cover she does, it's just out of this world. And
Yeah.
I'm
So
like,
so
so
do all your covers have like all those minor details in them?
the third one did, the second one and the first one, I would say they have scenes that
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And that's like the desert in the first one. There's a
Right,
big
right,
battle
right.
at the end. We're left on a cliffhanger. Where Maury really comes to and accepts who he is. The second one is there's a massive like encounter in with the destruction of a city with an ancient beast and a god's involved, and it's a major moment for Syra. And so you have the destruction on that scene with that shield.
Yeah.
But in the third one, you have a shipwreck with a kind of a coast watery vibe, and you can see a little starfish in there, which the starfish
Yeah.
was not in the scenes at all. But she was like, I had to put a starfish in there. And I was
It's
like,
just so cool.
I
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
just
I don't even, dude, you could have put a barnacle and I would have been excited.
right,
Like,
right. Because who knows? Maybe in that scene there was a starfish, and we just weren't privy to it.
come on,
So
it's the sea.
right,
It's come on,
right.
people.
Yeah,
So yeah, the third one I would say had the most elements with specific scenes, just in the storyline itself. But this one, it's like every single element on the cover is like monumental pieces to the
yeah,
storyline.
yeah.
And so I have this wraparound is coming next week, and the
Awesome.
wraparound is, and I have to tell you this because we're talking.
Sure.
So the wraparound is going to have Death's sword. So in my world, the soul realm, you have these guardians of death, and the
Mhm.
guardians of death are basically keepers of the souls, and they protect. Oh, don't freaking go on me. So it like times out, and I'm like, I keep
Right,
forgetting
right.
it's there.
You gotta look like you're working, man. You gotta look like
Yeah,
you're working.
I am. Can't you see?
Right, right.
So they are keepers of the souls, and they are in charge of ensuring balance in the soul realm, which is the realm of the dead, right? And how that transitions over into the living realm. And they monitor energy fluctuations and stuff like that. They're just BA
Right.
people,
Yeah.
And they have when they pass the commitment ceremony, which binds them to a demon, a lower level Gorgion, and that's a type of demon in my world.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, not a Gorgion, a Durlock. Sorry, demons are
Oh,
starting
oh,
to start.
okay. Hold on now. Now we just start all over. Now we have to start all over because now I got Gorgions and Morgulocks and Gargogooks and now I'm all
I'm
confused.
right. My brain, I'm like, I have been working so heavily on Syra this week. I'm like, what world am I in?
Right, right. So
So
so what? Okay, so the first one you said that was incorrect. What was that?
the Gorgion. So that is actually the demon that is bound to Morai.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And they are the result of tampered energy, which I won't
Okay,
even
yeah,
get into.
you've talked about. Okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes, okay,
But the Duralocks are ancient demons that have roamed the soul realm since the existence. And
gotcha.
they're just as vital as any other thing because there's balance in everything.
Yeah,
And so they're bound to these Duralocks during the commitment ceremony, which can sometimes kill them. But if they succeed, that's what allows them to, one, live immortally, have like badass strength, agility, all of this.
right.
And they're basically just like they're pale blue, crimson red eyes. They have this marking that covers their skin, and they wear these awesome cloaks. But when they pass, they are each custom given a prestigious sword called Death's Sword,
Okay.
which is forged with dark energy and light energy, and it allows them to travel between realms, and
It
as well
sounds it
as
sounds like you've put a little bit of thought into your world building.
I don't know what you're talking about. I
Yeah, it
just made
sounds
this up on the fly.
just a little bit. Yeah,
So, and this is like high level.
no
so,
kidding.
so Death's Sword is what it's called, and it is the metal can only be taken from one specific location, and it's just like, I mean, the living realm is like, if people know about Death Sword, they would literally kill for it because the metal is just it's untouchable compared to anything else.
Yeah.
So anyways, that being said, there's a specific guardian that has been with us since book 1. His name is Drill. And Drill has this really tragic backstory about a woman he saved like 160 some summers ago, and he fell in love with her.
Yeah.
And he broke the order. He basically was demoted, everything. But he did it for her because she was imprisoned and by her father, and because she was a really powerful light energy harvester, and he was trying to weaponize her. But she was breaking the rules with some of the energy laws between realms, forcefully. And then when he realized that, he saved her rather than killed her.
Yeah.
And so that's a whole backstory that
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's like a side quest standalone that I'm attempting to get to one day. That being said, he comes into Syra's life. He's earned a lot of people's love as for readers, and he gives Syra his sword, Death Sword, when there's a death scene, and book 1. And so she carries the sword with her all the way through book 1, book 2, book 3, and now in book 4, because book 3 he returns, and we don't know his backstory yet because he returns at the end. But something did happen to him, but we don't know yet. But he tells her to keep the sword. And so it's just like this huge element. And so his sword says, inscribed in it says, "For you I stand, for you I fall," because it was basically a love letter to the woman he loved. And it's just like really specific details to the Death Sword and stuff like that. So anyway, she told me it's going to be on the back of the cover, and I kind of like lost my mind over it.
Awesome.
So yeah, I was like, that is the sword.
Yes.
Like, so yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
Even my editor's like, when there was a specific scene, a comment he made, he was like, "We're leaving the sword? Like, what's happening?"
Yeah.
Everybody knows the sword. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's so good.
So I'm really excited. So being said, I just ranted just to tell you about a sword on the back.
That's great. That's great stuff. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. I mean, it's a special day. Like I said, it's a Friday, and all Fridays are special because we get to sit down and talk. But this is a special Friday because you got to, announce your cover.
I'm so excited.
Oh, dude, I'm stoked.
I'm like freaking out. So yeah, I just, she's a legend. She's a legend.
When are you starting arcs?
Arcs are going to be started mid-March. Yeah.
And do I remember when you're releasing this?
April 15th.
Oh, you're silly. Oh, you're silly. You're so silly.
You're so silly.
Oh my goodness. That's coming up, babe. That's that's coming up.
So next week is the last week I have for edits. And then my editor starts the final round, which is going to be a line edit, a review, proof, everything. Because we did a lot of talking back and forth, and we are only doing 2 rounds this time around just because of the strength of the first draft.
Cool.
And so, which is great, because I intentionally,
awesome.
that's why I took so much time to prepare it for edits rather than half-ass it like I've done in the past.
Right.
And then it takes me months to do everything.
Now, have you addressed with him the rewrites that he asked you to do in that one chapter that you were talking to me about?
It's not hardcore rewrites. It's just the cutting.
Just cutting, yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't talked to him about that just because those comments he does are really like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, they're clear, right? So it's like, I know what I'm doing.
Right.
I got your input, which I'm really glad about and I really appreciate, because like I told you, that chapter in particular is really too close for home for me.
Yeah.
And
it was a great chapter. Great chapter.
Need some line edits and a little bit of love, which is next week, but
it'll come soon. It'll come soon. Yeah.
But I like other chapters, if he's like, "Oh, you should, you can cut this down a little bit, and you can cut this down by half a page," I can literally go through and be like, okay, what is this? I don't know. I don't care. But that chapter in particular, I was like, I don't know where to go. I was like, I did cuts, and then I was like, is it still too long? Like, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad to hear that you think it's good, because you have writer of epics. I mean,
I haven't actually technically written an epic yet.
You
It's being
are.
written. It's being written. But no, when I read it, and like I said, I read it 3 times. The first time was just to read it. It was
You
just to
are
read it.
committed. I
Well,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
because you asked me to, right? So yeah, so the first time was just to read it and to get the feel. The second time was to be a little more, focused on, okay, now what was she asking me to do? Find
Yeah.
out, and I don't even know the story, but then I told you the feelings I got after reading it, and you're like, yeah, that's what's happening. And I was like, yeah, then you don't need to cut anything else because it was
Yeah.
perfect. Because yeah, I mean that's it's very intense, and sometimes those intense scenes or those intense images need a little more time to cook,
They
and
do.
yeah,
They do. And that's where it was like, for Cyrus, it's such a monumental moment, and it's a massive character arc for him,
yeah,
because by the next chapter, there's a huge turning point that happens, and where in his perspective about the world, everything that's happening, and what he has to do,
yeah,
since the everything's been handed to him, and he has to make a choice,
right,
and he does. And so that's where it's like everything is leading up, and it's just a huge arc moment. So yeah, I'm really excited, because once I finished Syra's second round of development edits, which a lot was building up some more world building concepts, lore, and
right.
splitting a couple of chapters into 2 chapters, because
Hmm.
that my editor was like, these are such huge moments. He's like, I would actually slow these down and split them up. And I
Cool.
was
Yeah.
like, and at first I was like, dude, you are literally ruining my pacing, because I was so specific with like 19 chapters per character.
Right.
And now it's
Right.
like 21, 19, 19. I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
oh
Right.
God, where am I going to put her?
Yeah.
But I did that all yesterday, and it's beautiful.
Awesome.
I was reading through everything once I did all the edits, and I was just like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Building
Yeah.
up the deities and the god lore behind it, because
Yeah.
Syra's been thrusted into a goddess role after some crap goes down in book 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that being said, this was a book that really focused on what does it mean to be a god, and
Yeah.
what is the lore behind that, and
Yeah.
is there weaknesses and stuff like that, which was so funny, because in my head I was like, yeah, there's weaknesses, and then I built up all this other stuff, and my editor was like, so what happened to the god lore? And I was like, that's a fantastic question.
Great question.
Great
Great
Everybody's
question.
supposed to be a mind reader and know
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just so that was the primary focus in this week with the second round for her, was building up a lot of that lore behind that, and then ensuring consistency, breaking up a couple of chapters.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I finished late last night, which I was really excited about.
Sweet.
And then the rest of the weekend is Morai. So he's going to get the second round. And a lot of it's just toughening him up, because I had wavered a little bit on softening him just a tad, because I
Hmm.
was worried about overdoing it. And my editor was like, we have been with this man for 3 books, watching him spiral. Take him deeper. And I was
Yeah.
like, you got it.
Yeah.
So
The one thing that I see all over social media, left and right, up and down, is we don't need no sophomore eye. That's what they say. That's what they say. They say
it's
we
all they
need.
talk about.
Yeah, we don't need no pooty. That's what
Booty.
they say. We don't need no pooty. We need a hard Morai, and
Yeah.
that's what the people want. That's what you got to give the people.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's going to be it's just more of revisiting a few scenes where he could have come across a little bit more like egotistical and a
sure.
little bit like spiraling.
Yeah,
And so I'm revisiting those scenes and then doing a subplot tweak, which happens halfway through. And
awesome.
then Syra had the most work, because I had to add a lot. He's just more tweaking certain things, and
Yeah,
then so I can really deliver that ending that he so rightfully deserves.
yeah,
Which, what an ending for him! People are going to be like, "Come again."
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it
Awesome.
well deserved. And so I'm gonna do that, and then all next week is me going line by line, reading the entire manuscript, going through those. Like I kind of mentioned to you when you read through that one chapter, is just like going through the phrases,
Right,
wording,
right,
strengthening scenes. Because cutting out redundancies.
right,
Because even going through, I'm like looking at stuff. I'm like, why did I write that?
right. Well, that's
But
why. That's why when I asked when I was reading it, I was like, I'm not, because like even it was pretty much perfect. But like if you wanted to be a stickler, yeah, there are some line
yeah,
adjustments that
there
could be
is.
made.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, leave that for the professionals.
Right. And that's where it's like I'm going to hopefully take a lot of, cuz even in this round of development edits, my editor took time to point out line editing things
Yeah,
so that I could start addressing them now so
cool.
that, you know, and so that's where it's like I've made a lot of notes and I'm like, okay, I'm going to revisit that, and then while I do the line by line, I can focus on a couple of those
Yeah,
set and structure
yeah,
patterns that I apparently decided to do in this book.
yeah.
But that's what being a writer is. So
Exactly,
that's all
exactly.
second. That's all next week, and then it's off in his hands, and then it's
And then
that's
it's in the arc reader's hands, and then it's in our hands. So yeah, you're fine. You're fine. It'll be
okay. I have a question for you. How do you
do my
um
hair. Oh, I just put a little pomade in, and I just mush it together, and then I just do a couple little like these things, and then that's it.
That's really
That's all I do.
fancy.
Yeah.
I brushed my hair, and you're lucky. 20 seconds before I sat down, I looked homeless, so I put a
Well,
shirt
I
on.
think I do. I think I look homeless too because I have not done anything yet. I jumped out of the shower, texted you, said I'm making coffee, that I'm firing it up, and this is it. So like I've probably got like dry skin, where I didn't lotion, and my hair, it's hard turning 25.
It is. It's difficult.
Your hair and your skin just doesn't do the same things it did when you were 24. So,
Well, you're looking fabulous.
well, thank you. I'm dreading 26, but it'll be here when it gets here.
Take it
So,
one step
anyways,
at a
you were
time.
saying, how do I what? What just happened?
meanwhile, I'm like the lighting is covering the zit healing on the side of my face. So
Right,
I'm
right, right. Well, that stupid thing on the side of my nose, that stress thing that popped up. Remember when all that stuff first started?
yes,
It's
yes.
it's still there, so it's like I'm constantly self conscious of that. But
I don't even
whatever.
see it. I don't
Yeah,
even see it.
it pops up every once in a while. No, but I do have my lighting differently. Since I moved
Oh,
from, I know I don't look as professional because I don't have my books behind me, and my bookshelf is
who
so
cares?
nice. But this
It's
way is just so much
whatevs.
more comfortable. Exactly, exactly. But I don't think you can see it as well here. But when I had the studio lights going, you could really see it.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Honestly, didn't even flash by me.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, so how do I do what?
Um. Okay, I am. This is a monumental task I'm about to ask, but I am thinking about formatting book 4.
Ooh,
And
yeah,
yeah. So, and I only say that because I love my formatter
yeah,
and he is an amazing human being. I have nothing wrong against him.
yeah.
But it cost as much as an edit to get my book formatted.
Wow,
Almost. Like it is close to $1,000. And
wow.
mind you, he is fast.
Yeah,
Because it's like I get a 3 or 4 day turnaround with my formatting.
that's crazy. That is
Yeah.
insane. Yeah,
So that being said, in the past it's always been worth it.
yeah,
But I'm kind of considering, like there's a lot more I want to do internally, like a
yeah.
couple of the chapter title headings.
Mhm.
And so I was thinking about getting Atticus because I've heard a lot of really good things about it. I've talked to a few authors about it.
Atticus limits, though. You are limited. Like, if you have a vision of something,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't fit into one of Atticus's, like, cookie cutter molds, like, you're kinda toast.
Well, because the only thing I was thinking about, because I'm not going to go all crazy where it's
Yeah.
like some like fancy, I don't even know, like world city landscape. I was thinking like vector images of like a dragon,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I have confirmed. I have
Uh-oh.
confirmed that I'm like hitting things
Yeah.
that I can get vector images on there.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And so that's kind of what I was thinking about, and like the scene breaks, doing
Mhm.
maybe a little sword or something.
Right, right, and that's one thing
That's
it's
it.
nice for. So that's what's
Yeah.
one thing because I do all my formatting in Word.
And that's what I was gonna
Um
ask you, like, you're that's what I was gonna ask. Do you do
Right.
it?
So
Yeah.
I've got it down to a science. It's very quick and easy for me now. It
Yeah.
wasn't in the beginning. And anybody who tries to format, will tell you it's not quick and easy. Like it takes a minute. Like, but I've done 20 books now, so like it's like I can do it pretty good. And you can put your vector images up. Sometimes I'll even go into Canva, create an entire vector image of my own to have
Wow.
it as chapter titles and things like that. If the book calls for it, like
Wow.
Scarlett's books, I do that
Yeah.
for Scarlett's books. Um, but the only thing that I've never really tried to do is the chapter breaks and having
Yeah.
like a cool design there. That doesn't I'm sure it will work in Word, but I haven't played with it enough to do
Yeah.
that.
And because I've seen um a few authors that I've done editing pieces for, and I
Hmm.
won't name names because one of them in particular is a fancy one that we both know.
Yeah, yeah.
But they have done the scene breaks
Hmm.
in Word. They
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it, and I have done it. It's just, like, I haven't liked it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a way to
Oh,
perfect it.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure there's a way to perfect it, that I just haven't played with yet. Like, I know how to do it, and I've done it, but, like, I wouldn't do it for a professional yet because I
Yeah.
just haven't played with it enough.
Yeah. Well,
But,
and that's the thing. Like I'm kind of it's a big task, and I'm a little bit nervous about it,
yeah.
but
I'll
because
do it for you, or help you along the way. Yeah, I mean, whatever, dude. We're homies, so
we're homies and we're
yeah.
drowning in task.
We are drowning in
Next time.
tasks and in debt, but what does that matter? We're still homies, so
Literally half the reason I'm doing this, I'm like, bro, I am not about to cough up $1,000 for
right,
formatting. I'm
right,
like, no. I'm like, new job, entry level, pay ain't the same.
right,
Start thinking differently.
right.
Like,
Exactly, exactly.
yeah.
No, no. I mean, we can totally f with it if you want to. Like, we could
Okay.
even set up like a Zoom call some weekend, and that way
Okay.
we can share screens and do it, whatever. So
Okay.
yeah,
That like So, and I don't know if you know this, is there a difference between formatting on Word versus formatting on Atticus? Do they turn out differently? Or is
they
it
do.
just
Yeah, because I
okay?
have Atticus. So
Oh, you do?
we could actually do both. Like we on a Zoom call or something, we could throw it in Atticus, do it in Atticus, and then we could throw it in Word and show. I can show you how to do it in Word. I have never been a fan of Atticus.
Really?
I think
Because
it's too cookie cutter. Like even the options it gives you are like, yes, here are your options, but they have to stay within what
wow.
we've designed.
Okay, that's actually that changes things a little bit because I think and people listeners, this is good news, okay?
Oh,
This
it's
is
great news
knowledge.
because it's Friday.
It's Friday.
Right.
Whatevs.
Right. It's a
Like
great news.
this is knowledge because I feel like so many people don't know, and like me dipping my toes into the formatting world,
Mhm.
there's a lot of knowledge that I don't know.
Right.
And so it can be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really interesting to talk to you about this and I hope people get a little piece out of this,
Let me
just
tell you, the most overwhelming and the thing that will make you go out and bang your head on a wall is the getting the footer and header to
oh
line up and
yeah.
and sync up the entire book. That I don't care who you are, I've talked to people who have done it professionally for years, and they're like, "Yeah, that still makes me want to go out and like load a bullet." Like it like it's
Really?
dude, it is so. And I usually get it the first time pretty good. But when
Yeah.
you don't get it the first time, when there's something in the manuscript, and of course yours is like 155,000 words.
164 now.
Oh my gosh. Dang, 164. So I gotta write 166 now to beat you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm actually hoping the line edits cut it a
Right,
little
cut it down a
bit.
little bit. Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
better.
all right, dude.
Yeah, it better. But so like if like on a 70,000 or 60,000 word book, it's pretty easy to even
Okay.
find where the hiccup is. You
Okay.
know, but dude, if there's a hiccup,
It's
it's not like you can even start from scratch. You can't start from scratch because the formatting that's already been done is embedded in there. So you can't even like erase all of the formatting that's done. Like you have to like figure out what's wrong, then go in and correct it, and then start from it's ugh.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like on top, if you want like the title on one page and then your name on the other, or like your name on one page and then the series title on whatever, however you want it, alternating whatever. And then on the bottom you have the page numbers, and then of course on each chapter you don't have that there, so you have to make sure that it skips the chapter page. So you have
Yeah.
to, yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, and if one thing is out of whack, the entire 155 word manuscript is like in the crapper, and you have to go through and figure out what's wrong. Like that is the part that will make you pull out your hair. It's insane.
Wow. Okay, so I am so honored that you ask about helping
Oh
because
yeah.
I think I would really appreciate that.
Oh
And
yeah.
just like even if we sat down on a weekend and was like, you pulled up my manuscript and you were like, okay, look in Atticus and look in this. And like I said, okay, I want this vector image. And you showed me and said, okay, this is what it's going to look like if it's
Right.
only in Atticus versus this is what we can do in Word.
Right.
I mean, honestly, that would be such a help for me because obviously I can't rent Atticus and be
Right.
like,
Right.
you
Let me
know,
actually while we're here, let me let me
Atticus.
see if I still have a license for it. Because I haven't used it forever. I wish I could share screen on this
Oh,
program so you
wouldn't that be fun?
wouldn't it be great? We just do it on.
We
We
would
might do
talk
that
for
anyways. We might do it on Zoom and just record it and put it up on so people can other people can watch formatting.
I
You
wouldn't
know,
mind.
yeah,
I
I think
feel
it'd be
like,
fun.
there's
So
just so much
okay, yeah, it
information.
looks like I still have my line license for it. So yeah, we're good. So
Oh
I
my
just need to
god.
download it on this PC because I had it on my other PC. So yeah,
Okay,
I'll
awesome.
just yeah.
I have a subscription. I have a license for commercial vectors
Oh,
because
cool.
I bought
Okay.
one for my website. So all those vectors you see on my website are commercial licensed.
Yeah.
So I can use those for books
Yeah.
if I
Cool.
wanted.
Cool. Yeah, we'll do it. Let's look like 2 or 3 weeks out, just
Okay.
so we can make sure that we have the time available. But we'll
Okay.
talk. Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll do it.
No, we'll
It'll be fun.
we'll plan it out because I have until like end of February I'll get my manuscript back.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah. I mean, we should probably what we should probably do is maybe here in a couple weeks, go ahead and do a dry run, like with
yeah,
whatever an unedited, unfinished manuscript.
yeah.
Do a dry run. Start figuring things out.
And see, because we could get in there and Atticus could suck for me. And
Right.
it could just be
Right.
like, it's not what I want. And then your magic with the
Then
Word.
we'll have to go into Word, and either way, we'll get how we want it done. That way, when you get the final manuscript, the Go manuscript, we already know what we're doing. We know what vectors we want. We know what spacing. We know everything. We know what
Yeah.
font. We know everything,
Yeah.
and that way we can just plug it in and just go.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah,
All right. We
cool.
will talk about that
Yeah,
on the
we'll do that.
outside.
We'll do that.
But everybody, Mike is awesome, in
Hey
case you haven't
man,
figured it out.
Chelsea's awesome. Mike is just trying to figure out his hair. So
Are you kidding me?
it kind of looks like what I figured. What I figured is, man, real
Whatevs.
authors don't care what they look like. I mean, look
No.
at Rothfuss, look at Martin. Look at any of the guys that I really admire. They don't care what they look like. So I'm
No.
just the only thing I do regret is like not doing my beard makes it look like I've gained 20 pounds just because it's so fluffy, and it's not, and I haven't. I'm actually. Oh, that's something we can talk about. My trip through Middle Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, which I guess it kind of looks like a hobbit too.
Do you have hair on your feet?
I don't. But I could draw some.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
So there's this thing called the Conqueror app, and you can get super nerdy with it, but it has a ton of different officially licensed virtual goals, virtual
Yeah.
whatevers. Call them races, but they're not races. Anyways, it's for walkers, bikers, runners, and what they do is they take the officially licensed information from books and from movies and things like that, and they put it into a virtual program in your phone, and you can walk in the shoes of the people that you're emulating or whatever, right? So for me, of course, it's Lord of the Rings. I was like, I'm gonna be Sam and Frodo, and so it starts you in Hobbiton at Bag End. It starts you right there, and it's got a virtual map where you can zoom down, you can see all the places and everything. It starts you there, and the entire map. You zoom out, you can go all the way like south to Gondor. And when you get to Gondor, you can like take Aragorn's route and do the Return of the King route,
That's
or you can
badass.
continue with Sam and Frodo and go to Mount Doom. So the first one I'm doing is I'm going to Mount Doom.
Obviously.
But it's so in the book they traveled like 1,235 miles. Okay, and they did that in 6 months. Now, of course, they were on a mission. They were hiking 12, 16 hours a day, whatever, right? So I have a goal set to make it from Bag End to Mount Doom in like it's a year and 5 months. a year. Yeah,
But you have to walk like 2 miles a day,
that's
right?
2 miles a day, and I've done it. I've gotten my 2 miles a day. So I'm at 10,000 steps every night before I go to sleep just to make sure. So, yeah, so I've done it.
Dude.
Yeah, so I'm getting there, but it's pretty great. Like here, I'll put a picture up here so you can kind of see what or everybody else watching can kind of see what the map looks like. So I don't know if
Oh, and it
so
zoomed in. That was so cool.
yeah, so you can see in like so there's Bag End in Hobbiton where you start, and you come down here, and so the first stretch is pretty long. It's like it's all the way until you get to Bree. And anyone who knows the Lord of the Rings story, Bree is where the Prancing Pony is. And so once you get to the Prancing Pony, that's your first actual stop. Yeah, and there's Prancing Pony right there in Bree.
Holy crap. So does it say how many miles is between that?
I think from Bag End to Bree was like 175 miles, which in the books and the movies you really don't get that. Like if you really
No.
nerded out in the books and figured everything out, yes, and that's how they figured it out. But in the movies, you don't think that getting from Bag End to Bree is 175 miles. But yeah, so and another cool thing about it is every 20% of your goal that you hit, they plant a tree, which is
I
rad.
think you told me that, and I was
Yeah.
I was so happy. Like my little tree loving self was like, yes.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's like they plant a legit tree in your name, in your honor, for every 20% you hit. So pretty cool program. Oh, and at the end of every goal, so there are 5 goals from Bag End to Mount Doom. The first being Bree.
Yeah.
Then like the next one is Rivendell, and the next one is Gondor, and like that, right? But every time you actually hit your goal, they send you an actual medal, like made of metal. And it's like the first one is like it's a like an image of the Shire, and it's metal, and you slide it open, kind of like I don't know, it's like some kind of something out of a fantasy book, right? Like you have to figure out the puzzle. You slide this thing open, and the one ring is in there, and it says keep it hidden, keep it safe, right? And so and that's what you get after your first goal. So when I get to Bree, they send me that, and it's actual metal, like you can hang it up. It's not like plastic. It's not like cheap. And then so the next one, and all the way through, yeah. So I'm super stoked. It's another one of those fun things on my health journey. If anybody's interested, it's called the Conqueror app. I think it's $50 per goal.
$50 per goal.
Yeah.
And so, you have to pay to start. Is that what I'm hearing?
You pay. You get the official license, right? So that you can get the stuff on your phone. So that pays for the license. It pays for the medal, and it pays for the tree planting.
I'm pulling it up.
It's pretty rad. It's a lot of fun.
Does it look like the Conquer challenges? Is that?
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
I just want to I'm gonna install it and get in it, and just
look
poke
through
around.
But they have like all kinds of stuff. Like they have like Harry Potter, Star Wars, Star Trek, Dune.
Star Wars.
Oh yeah, they have all. They have, but then they have like real life stuff too. If in case you're not a nerd,
screw the real life. I mean,
but if you're not a nerd and you just want some cool challenges and some cool rewards, like they have Everest, and they have
that's cool.
they have Rome. And they have like ancient Rome, so you can traverse ancient Rome, all kinds of stuff, and it's $50 a challenge, and so you're paying that's pretty minimal, for the kind of challenge you're getting, for the kind of rewards you're getting, and just for the overall satisfaction of being healthy or being healthier, and so every day you can do something good for yourself is a good day. Every day you make yourself better is a good day. You know what?
So. That's our motto.
Yeah, that's
I like that.
That is, we've had a lot of mottos over the year and a half, 2 years we've been doing this. Because anytime any of us says something we think is cool, we're like, that's our motto.
And then we say it for like 60 times.
Right. Like last week, it was like, don't call it a comeback or whatever. It's whatever, man. It's whatever, man.
Yeah, but the don't call it a comeback has to be like one of my favorites thus far.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question regarding the app. Do you have to, it sounds like you're just walking in steps, right? So it's just measuring your steps that you walk. So
Correct.
If you were like, for example, I get on the elliptical.
Yeah.
So it would measure those.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have to walk down the street. I don't know where I was thinking that. Please
No,
don't come for
it'll
me.
if you go on a hike out to your house and you hike for a mile, it'll count that. If you go on a bike ride and you bike ride, it'll count that. Now they
Yeah.
have different, like if you're more of a biker, which I'm not, I don't like bikes and my hemorrhoid does not like bike seats. But remember, I'm 25. Uh, the they have little adjustments. You can say like, okay, I'm on a bike here, so
Yeah.
they'll adjust for that. For that
That
time that you're on the bike. Yeah.
this is
But
super cool.
oh, it's so cool. Like, so on my Garmin, I'll hit whenever I'm doing an actual, like, intentional workout, like where I'm going to go walking or whether if I'm going to, hit the gym, I'll hit start and it will start tracking that separately. And it'll track that exertion and then it'll turn that into miles and it'll put that on there. But then throughout the day, it just logs your steps. And at the end of the day, it uploads it. And so like I ended up with like 2 miles, intentional walking and then like a mile and a half of just everyday walking. So I ended up with 3.5 miles yesterday. Yeah.
See, that's really cool because
Yeah.
like 5 days out of the week, I'm on the elliptical.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm walking around or I'm doing stuff around this. Oh, that's really
Yeah.
interesting. And to know you're doing towards something. Okay.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're doing, not only are you getting the satisfaction of like, yeah, I'm walking the same path that, Frodo and Sam walked, but you're also getting a tree planted. You're getting 5 trees planted for every challenge.
Yeah.
Because it's every 20%. And you get a rad medal at the end. So
yeah, the Dune and Star Wars ones, yeah, that would be really fun.
Yeah, check it out, man. It's cool. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like convoluted at first to figure out, but basically what you do is like I would get on your PC and pick the challenge you want, pay for it there, and set up your account and everything, so it's all set up on the PC just because it's easier to see it all.
Yeah,
and then they send you an email said, hey, you got this license. Here's download the app. So you download the app, all your stuff gets loaded in there automatically with the license key, and you're good to go.
Oh,
so it's a lot easier to do. And then once you've got on the app and it's all downloaded, once you finish that goal, it'll say, like, say you do Star Wars and you're doing episode 1, once you finish that, it'll say, okay, you're ready for episode 2. Do you want to do that one? It's already there. You say yes. You'll pay the 50 and it'll start you on episode 2. That kind of thing.
Okay, wow, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I'm so doing that, and I'm going to send it to my brother too.
Yeah,
so I think he'd get a kick out of that.
Yeah. We can, I don't know if it would work cross challenges. So in the Lord of the Rings one, you can create fellowships where, like, so if you did the Lord of the Rings one, or you and your brother did the Lord of the Rings one, I'm trying to get a couple people over here to do it. We could actually be our own fellowship. So it would like put us together and like, it'd be pretty rad.
That would be so rad.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. People, download the app.
Yeah,
okay?
Check out the app. Everybody download it.
Not
all
sponsored.
35 of our listeners download it, and we will have the most epic fellowship of the walking ring ever in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me what's going on in Micah's world.
Feeling good, doing well. Interestingly, we talked about a little while ago. You were doing the
glucose monitor.
Yeah, the glucose monitor. Are you still doing that, by the way?
No, I have one left, but we figured it was one of those. Good morning. You aren't rid of me yet. Several opt out. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have to go to work?
No, I was just looking at this to see what this was.
Good.
Oh, opt out. Okay. I might have to jump on a call later. All right.
Okay. We're probably gonna wrap it up. We're at about an hour. We'll work towards wrapping it up.
We'll work towards wrapping it up.
Yeah.
All right.
But so I don't know when I started my overall overhaul.
Yeah.
Overall overhaul. I like that. That's our new motto.
Overall
overhaul. Yeah.
Overhaul.
But it was a few months ago. Whenever this thing started, right? But started getting healthier. Started trying to cut out alcohol. Started trying to eat better. Started trying to cut out dip. Started trying to move, exercise more again, lose weight, all the things. So I can't remember where that was, but over the holiday, timeline, so maybe a week or two before Thanksgiving to maybe a week after Christmas, I noticed, wearing my watch and monitoring my blood pressure and my heart rate and things like that, I noticed a huge spike in my heart rate, because normally my heart rate would be around 70 beats per minute.
Yeah.
And during that time, it was up to about 85 to 90.
Okay, so elevated, a little higher
super elevated.
Yeah.
Blood pressure, elevated. Anxiety, elevated. And of course, what are we doing during that time? We're eating, or at least me. I was eating. I gave up my diet. Now I still didn't drink alcohol. I still didn't dip, but I gave up my diet. So I was eating all kinds of sugars,
Yeah.
all kinds of crap, and just because it's all there, it's just there for the taking, right?
Oh god, the holidays are brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah.
But this was the first holiday that I'd ever actually like had already been monitoring my health and
Yeah.
then seen what a impact and what a decline the
Interesting.
sugars and the nasty bad foods have on you.
Wow.
Yeah, which is crazy. So yeah, my heart rate, yeah, 85, 90. I'm like, I don't like that. Blood pressure high. I don't like that. Gained like 10 pounds. I don't like that. Um, so then I don't know, like January 3rd or something, just right after Christmas, I was like, okay, we gotta get this back under control.
Oh
So,
my gosh, that's really fascinating.
yeah, it was super fascinating, right? Because it only took a month to 6 weeks to completely just destroy the progress and to make my body unhealthy again, like 4 to 6 weeks. Uh,
Wow.
so I started eating clean again, and my heart rate now averages about 65 beats per minute, which is like super super good. It's like high level athletes is like 40 beats per minute, and like the average American is 70 to 100. So 65 is like really good. Blood pressure's back down, anxiety's back down, and I'm down about 12 pounds. So
Wow.
yeah, just
That is
it
I
just
mean,
shows how much of an impact diet and stress have on your body.
it does. It
Yeah,
does. And it's interesting because I mean, I focused it more on the blood glucose levels and the
yeah,
reaction with what you ate and stuff like that and just the 24-hour impact if you
right,
ate something
right,
bad, right? But hearing it from the blood pressure and the heart rate, that is fascinating.
yeah,
I would have sold my soul to have something monitoring that while I
yeah,
was wearing the glucose just to
yeah,
see the,
yeah.
yeah.
It would. Do you not have a smartwatch?
I used to, and then I threw it away because I just never wore it.
Look, I hate Apple, so I don't do Apple, but I've got the Garmin Vivo Fit. I absolutely love it. Like it monitors, your sleep patterns, it monitors your heart rate, your oxygen level, all that kind of stuff. I super love it. And it's not as expensive as an Apple Watch or iWatch. I don't know what they call them. I hate Apple. Um, but it's like $350, but the app comes free with it, and the app is like super intuitive and monitors all your stuff. And you can even like I was saying, when you start a workout, you click what kind of workout you're doing, strength
Yeah.
or aerobics or whatever. It'll monitor that, and so I really like it. I like it a lot.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so interesting. Well, one, I'm happy that you were monitoring it in a sense where you were able to recognize the
yeah,
pattern and you were
big
like,
time.
okay, wow, eye opening.
Yeah,
Let's jump back on to what I was doing. I think the holidays, it's so difficult. I mean,
it
even
is
my cheat days started blending into
to
multiple
regular days.
days,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah. And you're
Yeah,
like, okay. And even
right.
if I wasn't eating lots of sugar or anything like that, it was just like you could feel it,
Oh yeah, still, but everything around the holidays, even the meats, they're not lean proteins; they're fatty, salty meats.
They're
It's just like,
good.
yeah, they're the good stuff, right? It's just like everything is like a carb. Like everything is a pastry or a cake or something.
Yeah.
So that stuff is really gonna have an impact.
That's
Um,
so interesting.
yeah,
Wow. I'm really happy we're past the holidays because
yes,
I'm
I am
looking
too.
forward to the more habitual
Right,
once a week cheat day
right,
and the stricter vegetable protein based
right, right.
meals. So yeah, I'm even this week going in back into it, it was just like it was so nice to just be like, okay, we're having chicken and onions
Right.
and green beans tonight.
Yeah, like I mean, my standard day is like fat free, Greek yogurt with blueberries, some
Oh, it sounds
almonds.
so good right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, some almonds, some brown rice, and some fish. That's like my normal day now, right?
That's amazing.
So it's so good, and you feel so much better. And I'll tell you what though, man, the family don't get in on it. So they're still like
It's hard when you're the only
pizza,
one.
hamburgers.
Yeah,
It's like, oh my gosh.
it is difficult. Like that is like our whole family took that lifestyle change and
Yeah,
that was what was so cool because leading into that like I was thinking to myself, I want to do more changes. I want to cut out the
Right.
sugar and carbs, but I'm like, you know, everybody's splitting up meal cooking and
Right.
it's impossible, you
Yeah.
know? It
Yeah.
feels impossible. So it's just yeah, when we all took the plunge, we were like, okay, cut out sugars, carbs. It was
Yeah. It's
so
so
easy to
good.
jump on
So
because
good.
everybody was involved.
Yeah. I'm
So
sure
kudos
everybody
to
just
you.
feels so much healthier and so much
Oh
better.
gosh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's incredible to see. I mean, my dad did it because he has, you know, family diagnosis and
Sure.
the, you know, diseases in the family
Right.
line, right? Like
Right.
diabetes and stuff like that.
Right. Well,
And
that's why I started it, because I have
yeah,
all that in mind too, and I'm like, okay, I'm not, I'm getting older.
yeah.
I've got to start being careful. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's just like it was really eye-opening and genetically it's like I am predisposed to all
Right.
that.
Right.
And so and those the normal day everyday lifestyle that the American culture puts on you and
Right.
says, you know, eat the candy,
Exactly.
eat the pizza, you
And
know.
sit on your butt and don't do any physical activity while you're doing it.
What are we doing? We're sitting
Right.
on our butt.
Exactly. Right.
Exactly. And so it's just like he did it. I mean, dude, he's lost because he's a big guy, you know, he's like
Hmm.
6'3". He's
Wow.
like
Yeah.
he was a football player in
Yeah.
college, like, but he had put on weight during his schooling and stuff like
Sure.
that. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's dropped a crazy amount of weight just doing 30 minutes on the elliptical and cutting out sugar and carbs.
That's awesome.
And we're still doing one cheat night a week. And
Yeah.
like I've told you in the past, like I've dropped, I mean, since I started, I'm down to like a pant size 3.5, 4 now, which is,
That's crazy. That's
which
awesome.
I mean, and that was just cutting out those foods.
Right. Right.
And I don't crave them anymore. Like you and I have talked about.
Right.
It's not, you're not craving them anymore.
Right. No, the craving is not there. Now the temptation is there when it's there.
Always.
You
If
know,
you
when
put a
it's
piece
there,
of chocolate
yeah.
cake in my face,
Right.
we're gonna have a problem.
Right. There will be a problem because it's the cake's gonna win. But
cake
but
is gonna
I
win.
don't seek it out. Like there's
Yeah.
it's not part of my my diet or part of what I look for the day. I
No.
look for healthy foods that sustain my energy and my mental health
Right.
and things like that.
Right. It's like what?
One more thing that going on in Micah's world. Hold on, let me hopefully I don't flash everybody.
Oh, what the fuck?
All right, check this out. This came in the mail the other day.
Oh no way.
Oh yes. Oh, a 13-inch church warden pipe. How rad is that? Straight up Gandalf pipe.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Do you want
13
to
inches.
you need a cloak.
What makes you think I don't have one, girl? I got
My
one.
apologies.
Yeah, I got one. But now, last time we did an episode where I had my pipe, I was pointing at you. It was like, it was just a little one. But now it's like, now I can really get you.
I can literally hear it. You're like,
Right.
this is so funny. Oh
Yeah,
God,
that came in the other day. I was pretty pumped about that.
that is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty awesome.
Have you used it yet?
I've not. I need to. I didn't want to because of kind of like what we were saying with my blood pressure being higher and my heart rate being higher.
Totally
I'm
understood.
not introducing nicotine into that situation. So
yeah, that's right, because it is nicotine.
Yeah. So I was like, once I get back down to in my healthy state and everything, then we can throw some tobacco.
We can have a little fun with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
So it'll probably be next week or so. I'll pour a bourbon and I'll have a puff in honor of Gandalf. So
yes, please wear the cloak and take a photo. The cloak.
I'll put a picture up. I will put a picture up if I can find it. I've got a picture where I'm dressed fully in my cloak and wizard hat and wand. So I dressed up for a D&D campaign, and it is hilarious.
Please find that photo.
Oh, and I had a walking stick. I hope it's in that picture. I had an actual staff where the stone on top glowed. So I'll see if I can find it. It's pretty epic. It's pretty great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. It's
that's amazing.
Fun. Yeah. By the way, speaking of clothing, who are we representing today? Is this a football team or is this?
This is actually my own jersey.
Oh, nice.
I
That's
Custom made it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Is it
So
for the saga, or is it just
yeah.
okay,
So
cool.
on the back it says Varelian.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
I think I saw you post that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've never seen you wear it. Okay, cool.
No, I don't know why I haven't worn it. Probably because it's been too cold. But today's like this morning's the last warm day before the Arctic front
Yeah,
moves in.
we're one day behind you because we get one more warm day and then we get the
Yeah.
blast. Yeah.
And so I was like, I am pulling out the short sleeves. I was in a tank top yesterday. I was like, take it all in as much as you
Yep.
can.
Yep.
But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so this one, so Emran cosplay, and I don't know if he wants us
I
to say
think
his
he
name
said
out
we can
loud.
say his name now.
Ryan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but he has one, and he's the
Oh,
only other
cool.
person that has one. And I sent it
Awesome.
to him because he's just so sweet and he does
He's
so
so
many
sweet.
cool things. Yeah.
Did you get a Christmas card from him?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was nice. Yeah.
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 He is amazing.
Yeah, he's a great
He
dude.
did something, and I will, when edits slow down, I'm gonna mess with it. But he is a very talented drawer.
Oh,
And
really?
if
Okay.
you go to his page, he posted a dragon that he drew for me. That is
Sweet.
hopefully going to be a sticker.
Awesome.
And it's
Awesome. Your dogs are my
what is
dogs.
that? That's my dogs.
Oh,
I didn't even
nice.
know she was down there.
That's funny. Well, I think this is a great place to wrap it
This
up.
is it.
We had a wonderful conversation. It was a wonderful, beautiful Friday morning, as it always is. Don't call it a comeback.
It's what
Pay us
ends.
money.
Overhaul.
Over,
Overall? Overall overhaul.
overall overhaul.
Yeah.
Overall overhaul.
We're gonna keep track of all the things we say.
But if you say that like in a southern accent, then I just think of overalls, like a farmer. Like
That's
I think
all
of
I've
pigs.
been thinking about.
Overall overhaul, like straw hat. I don't know. Speaking about pigs, do you recall how many? Do you recall how many words Pigga was?
Dude, I think it was like 1,200 words.
Okay, that's my sister is writing a little children's book that she wanted help doing, kind of in the same vein we did Pigga. But I think hers is only like 765. So I was just trying to think of like the size and what we would do.
Yeah, I think it was only like 1,200 max.
Cool.
But I can double check.
Yeah.
Before you say anything, let me check because I'll pull up the file.
Okay. And I know I have a copy in here somewhere, so I was looking for it the other day.
But it's so teeny.
What's that?
It's so teeny.
I know, it's like it slid in like one of the sides.
Lost.
Yeah, so it's like I just got to look at all the sides of the bookshelf and see like which side it got stuck into.
Yeah, I'll look. If anything, it's barely 1,000. I feel like 12 is maxing it, but I'll check.
Okay,
and then,
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let us.
Oh my.
Yeah. Bye.
Oh, bye.